Welcome back, everyone.
Welcome back. I was just doing some research on the wiki. I read this news article the other day. This is the strangest news article I'd ever read because it involved a nurse, a female nurse, who was going on like a what?
I just sang a female nurse.
Oh.
It was like, I don't know. It sounded like it was like part of a song. A nurse, a female. Anyway, sorry. Carry on.
This female nurse was going onto these dating websites, pretending to be a male doctor, finding her female colleagues to try to convince them to send her nude pics because she was a doctor.
Why was she doing this?
I exactly don't know. I was waiting for the article to get. The article never even said if she was like a lesbian or was into women or if this was just something that she was doing for, shits and giggles. Like I couldn't. I kept reading this article, going, I don't understand like what the motive was here, and that's what I really wanted to know was what the motive was.
Maybe she was going to blackmail the nurses at a later time.
Well, I guess it was like she did it to 4 or 5 different people, and one of them. God, I'm trying to remember the article and how they found out. It was like literally that this woman, she texted this doctor guy that she was she thought she was talking to, this male doctor, because she was going to meet up with him, and they had exchanged some, I guess he probably.
So she was pretending to be an actual male doctor, like one that existed. Maybe she was going to blackmail him.
No, I don't think it was one that existed. I think she made up a doctor that she was pretending to be. I don't think there was any person involved that she was pretending to be specifically.
Okay.
But at the same time, I don't know. The article didn't get that deep into it.
It doesn't seem like a very good article.
Well, and one of the people that she was doing this to, she was hanging out with at the bar. They were friends, or they hung out after work or something like that. And she would use herself to talk to them about their dating life to find out, there was this male doctor in their life, and somehow convince them that, if he's asking for nude pics and stuff, then you should send them to him. That's a good idea. Like,
was it working?
It was.
She's like the best wingman ever.
Well, but it was all for herself,
right?
And I guess one of the people that she was out with texted the doctor. And noticed that her phone went off at the same time, and she got a little suspicious on what the hell was going on, and that's how it all got discovered.
Wow.
So, but she had done this to 4 of her colleagues, never said anything about blackmail or anything like that. It was the most confusing thing.
Maybe she's just a bitch.
I mean, I guess that's possible. She just literally wants to make her colleagues feel like an idiot and see how. I guess that is an interesting thing. It is kind of an interesting human psyche type of experiment. I would be curious of some of my friends, which ones would go far enough to do something like that, to start sending nude pics. Maybe that's all she was doing it for.
Yeah,
was just to find out, I
can see that.
Which one of these chicks is going to be sending the naked pics out tonight? She has bets with herself, or
yeah.
I don't know, just.
That's pretty crazy for sure. But
yeah, well, and I was expecting it to be because this chick was she was in love with a colleague or something like that, and that's why she was doing it in this random catfish type way.
Yeah,
but it just didn't seem to be that. It just
never got there.
Almost do it for. Well, she got there for 4 people. Then just.
The article never got there. There was never.
Yeah, the article never.
So what happened to her? Did they kill her?
It was an article because she was now she had gotten arrested and she was up for a trial date or something like that.
What's the crime?
I don't remember.
I'm really curious. Nothing you said to me sounded like she broke any laws.
Hold on. Now I'm going to dig myself into a corner for a second because now I'm going to see if I can find this article again. Female nurse pretends to be male doctor for nudes. Let me see if that works.
Good old.
Nurse caught sending naked snaps after posing as a male doctor. That worked. A nurse kind of woman. There's her name. The phone gimmick to trick 10 victims during a warped 5-year plot.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, she worked at a Cross House Hospital. So I think it's in Scotland. It's in Scotland. Yeah. Used three male names to lure some into sordid texts. Pled guilty on Monday to 18 separate offenses over her scam between 2012 and this year. Dying, horrified to discover her hunky. She was horrified to discover her hunky doctor David Graham, who'd randomly contacted her on Facebook, was a bogus profile created by a medic looking after relative John. Wait, I don't even understand what that means, but I'm trying to see if I can find what it was that she was actually charged with.
18 counts of what?
I don't know. So I'm trying to find out.
Being awesome.
So I was always being around. Satellite came to the nicest person. She's the most attentive nurse. Where is? One of my friends sent me a message asking how I knew David Graham. I told her it was my granddad's physio. I didn't know that was for sure.
1, 2, 3.
What is? Admitted to fear and alarm. I don't think putting her in jail is going to do much good. It doesn't say anywhere in this article.
Like, none of that sounds illegal. It sounds like a shitty thing to do, but like, what's
it's
the
also
crime?
In Scotland, though.
Yeah, I know. Once you said Scotland, I was like, well, I don't know anything about their laws, so.
And who knows if it's fake news? I mean, that's always a possibility too. That it's just like a made-up article on one of these, crazy scam websites. But
Jeff's always watching these crazy scam sites.
I mean, I'll read any article that's for the lulz, but it's just hard to know which one is less for the lulz and more real, especially now. So hard to tell. I read something on Donald Trump and I'm like, is this real?
That's many of the tweets that always get me going. Like, did he really say that? No, ain't no way he said that.
Well, I'm surprised I haven't seen it. Maybe I just haven't paid attention the last couple hours. I got home from work, but they would subpoenaed his Dutch tax records or something like that today.
His German bank records.
So I'm surprised he didn't just get up in arms about that. Because didn't he always say from the beginning his personal finances were out of the question?
Yeah. Who knows? It's
curious.
It's gonna be. It'll be a while, I think, before this whole investigation thing is wrapped up.
Yeah, it's gonna be about the end of his presidency.
Well, I mean, that could if you could wrap up tomorrow, it could be the end of his presidency, technically.
Sure, I mean, it'll be like the end of his full term.
Yeah.
They'll be like, and right before the election, you should have been impeached, but it's too late. Like, what happens at that point if you can't impeach somebody? Do you?
I mean, if he committed treason, then
I doubt they'll hit him with treason.
I mean, if he committed it, why not?
I mean, true, but
Who knows?
I mean, he can't obstruct justice. We found out, so
why not?
You didn't see the statement from his lawyer?
I saw his lawyer say that he tweeted out some stuff, like the lawyer did the tweets, not Trump.
Yeah, the lawyer said that Trump, he cannot be charged with obstruction of justice because it is impossible for the president of the United States to obstruct justice because he is the highest-ranking officer and therefore can't obstruct himself.
That doesn't sound right.
Yeah, that's what the lawyer said.
Well, yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't. I didn't surprise you didn't see that. That was in news for the last couple of days.
I haven't really been paying a lot of attention, honestly.
But it's so entertaining.
No, kind of.
It lost its pizzazz.
Yeah, had my belly's full.
Yeah, that's why you gotta start reading articles on like nurses pretending to be doctors to get nude pics of fellow nurses, and that's where the gossip's at.
Yeah, sounds good. So Australian Survivor.
Yes.
You start watching it.
I amazingly was able to find, and this is on like a normal, very strange. It seemed to be like the network's website of whatever it's broadcast on, because I had all 4 seasons, and I think it was the network's page, and it didn't tell me I wasn't allowed to play the content, and it would start playing the content, and then it would just freeze. But if I used an Australian VPN, it would play. So it was weird because it's usually if you can't play the content out of the country, it'll tell you that right away.
Yeah.
This would start to play and just freeze, but if you use the Australian VPN, it worked fine. But I started watching season 1.
Right, you said that, and I can't find season 1, so I guess I'd have to do what you're talking about, get an Australian VPN and all that stuff.
Yeah, well, and I'll be honest, I can't find the season 4 that you were able to locate, but that was a different thing. I don't know why I can't seem to find it, but I could not. But it was very interesting because it obviously started. It was no expectation that these people do not know what Survivor is.
Right.
They're just all like, I've wanted to be on the show since I first watched it, in the States, and now I'm here. So they all have Survivor strategy already going in, even at season 1. Which I was kind of hoping to see something where people didn't really know what was going on, but at the same time, it's kind of interesting to, to see a group of people who does, and it's completely different. It definitely brought me back to the old time because it was like an hour and 19-minute episode, I think, like without commercials. Was the first episode, and it showed so much of the camp life that they leave out at the beginning of seasons now. But you see the same mistakes that people make.
Man, this season 4 has been the most refreshing Survivor experience for me in a long time. Like some of the stuff the show does, America needs to do. Like, there's just been some crazy things that I don't want to tell you because like I don't want to ruin it, but like twists and spins that they throw in there to let the survivors do things that like there's one occasion where they go to the winning tribe goes to tribal council, and they vote for someone to go on this thing to do this thing to help the tribe and themselves. Like, it's just like, there's just crazy shit that happens.
Oh, that's weird. How far into it are you now?
I think like episode 18 or 19, and they still haven't merged at this point.
Because it's 30... Wait,
it's like 26 episodes or something like that.
26?
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely a lot
just
longer.
The concept, I wonder why, and I wonder if it was literally a thing. Because I always thought 39 days was a strange number of days.
Yeah, there probably is some legal requirement.
Like it can't be more than 40 days. So they were like, maybe 40 days. So they were like, 39.
Yeah, it's highly possible, right?
Yeah, it's very possible. Oh God, I just fell, and a creeper blew up, and I almost died, and I'm gonna die. I'm not well.
I'm not well.
I'm not well.
So season 1 though, because apparently they did 2 seasons, and then there was like a really long break before they did season 3.
So I'll be honest, it looks like it's new, and I'm wondering if it was just like mislabeled, even though I saw all 4 seasons on this like network site or whatever that I was watching it on. But there's a guy, I can tell you this, there's a guy named Dez.
No, there ain't no Dez.
Okay, so it is a different season then. But yeah, I've only watched the first episode, so I don't have that much insight into what's happening yet. But I definitely look forward to watching more. It's just sadly a time commitment because it's long.
Yeah, the episodes are longer too than like the American ones. I think it feels like at least.
It's actually kind of annoying the way I have to watch this if I can't get it to like stabilize with my standard connection, because the way VPNs work, well, the way I guess a Chromecast works, like I can't Chromecast it to my TV because the Chromecast takes over the internet request. So I can be watching it fine and then tell it to like launch on my Chromecast, and then the Chromecast will try to watch it.
Well, can't you set up a VPN on your TV or your Chromecast?
I don't know. I know you can set them up on your router. I could just make my whole router say it was going through somewhere else and cut it. You know, that would essentially be the Chromecast and a VPN. But I don't know if I'm gonna. Oh, if it's that worth it to me?
Yeah, that's
sit down on my computer and watch it. Oh man, I already came all the way up here. I have searched this cave, this huge cave. I've gotten some redstone, some lapis, no diamond.
No, not meant to be. Your room's been done so far.
Try to dig my way back up and see where I'm at here. I was pretty far away from the house. I went to that UFO, kept walking like straight past it until on a cliff that I started digging into.
I've done nothing but work on this this little house thing.
The apartment?
Yeah. Need so much stone. Problem.
I mean, I'm coming back with a couple stacks.
Well, that'll help.
I mean, you could always make a cobble gen if you really need that much stone. But at the same time, it's not like we're lacking stone in our immediate surroundings.
Yeah, I've just been digging. I mean, I have this silk touch pick, so I've been digging it, you know.
Oh, yeah, I guess that is an easy way to get it. Man, now I opened up into another cave, which is always nice, except for high, because it was on the way out of here. Yeah, finding... What do I need to find? I really want to get some gear going. Oh, and I haven't been getting any coal, and now I'm just out of torches. I'm just not planning, Guude. Not planning.
Wonder... Let's see here. I'm at 106 now. What's the world go to? Two something?
The ceiling?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 256 or 255 or something.
Okay. This thing's gonna be so tall.
Is it gonna be the world height?
I mean, I guess. Like, I'm already at 106, and I've only got like 4 rooms.
Also dig it down.
Oh, I guess I could do that.
Sub-levels all the way to the bottom. Like, literally, it's an apartment complex that goes from bedrock to build limit. And give somebody, like, the penthouse suite at the very top, but make sure it's just tall enough that they can't place any blocks up there.
It kind of looks like a prison.
I mean, with the color scheme that you had going for it.
Yeah.
Even though I don't think prisons necessarily look like that. But your mental thought process of a prison looks like that. I mean, have you ever seen a prison that looks like that? Usually they're like, you know, brown buildings or green buildings.
I guess
in DC, the prisons are just normal buildings.
Really?
Yeah. There's a prison right next to one of the bars that we used to go to, the roof deck. So you go stand on the roof deck and you look out and you just see like the guys sitting in their room.
That's real sad.
Like at the windows. And they're just like, well, it's probably not a prison. It's probably a jail.
I mean, I'm thinking it's sad for them. They have to watch you guys sit over there at the bar.
Yeah, I mean, maybe it's part of the punishment. They're like, you can serve 5 years in max or 1 year and watch these people constantly have fun. I mean, that would be a tough choice. Not really, but I mean, you can imagine how that would warp you for sure. God, I don't know what I would do if literally my punishment was to watch people have fun for like an extended period of time while I could have none.
You'd probably become real jaded.
I found another huge cave here. Good Lord.
I mean, that's probably what depression is like, right?
Everybody else is having fun while you're not.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I guess. I guess it's all in the... I mean, it'd be kind of interesting because what if you're a guy who is completely like anti-alcohol and you think everybody who drinks is like just stupid and wasting their life?
Yeah.
Then you might feel good about yourself. You'd be like, I am the better person here in jail than you filthy alcohol drinkers.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess it's all about context, right? I just can't imagine what it's like to have like your life controlled because you are no longer, even if you're in minimum security, you know, not as bad as what you see on, TV or whatnot. I don't know how they really are, but
I mean, it's probably like being at your parents' house again, to some degree.
Yeah, with rules and bedtimes and curfews. Except the problem is when you break those rules and laws and curfews, you don't just get sent to your room per se.
Right. I mean, you're probably filled with constant regret too for whatever thing you did that landed you in there.
Or just, heaven forbid, the people who are wrongfully imprisoned.
Oh God, I can't imagine that. Like that would be the worst. That's actually the worst thing that could ever happen to anyone, and does happen to people, is being wrongfully convicted of a crime. Especially ones that like result in lifetime sentences and stuff.
Ooh, oh God, oh God, oh God. Oh, I can't get over this hill.
Like, I don't know how those people don't go to extreme efforts to just kill themselves. Like, well, that's what I would do if that was me.
I mean, I would guess that a lot of them are studying up on the law to try to get their cases, but maybe not. I don't.
Yeah.
I mean,
I don't know if I'd have the motivation, man. I would feel like the system failed me, and so I don't know.
I follow the whole Making a Murderer stuff to try to find out what's going on with Stephen Avery and all, and I think like whether I don't know if I believe that he's innocent or not, but God, can you imagine if he is and he went to jail once wrongfully for 18 years and then again for what? It's been 12 now.
I thought they let him out. I couldn't get into that show.
No, they let him out the first time for the wrongful rape conviction that he spent 18 years in jail for. And then 2 years later, he went back to jail for murder.
Really?
Yeah, that he claimed. That's what Making a Murderer is all about, is about the murder trial. And no, he's definitely still in jail and is fighting his appeals, and some of his appeals are getting denied. And I've been following it pretty close to see what's going to happen with it. And it's really funny if you really want to look at a group of people or two groups of people who are clearly on the opposite sides. It's even worse than Republican Democrat. It is the truthers versus the guilters is what they're termed as.
For the
it is for the people who believe in his innocence versus his guilt. It is insane. There are two separate subreddits dedicated to guilters and truthers, and it is the one statement can come out like in an appeal, and something gets said in the appeal, and you literally will go to both subreddits and see the same title with completely different interpretations of what it is. I mean, so much worse than any Republican Democrat thing. It gets hostile. Which way are we? We're 1900,
like 3,000 or something like that.
3,000.
Yeah,
negative 3,000.
Yeah.
So this way. I was going the wrong direction.
Yeah, I have to watch that. Well, I'll have to try again, I should say. I couldn't get into it.
I got hooked on it after the couple episodes. Because I really gonna happen, and I'll say it was good. It was definitely biased, but was it necessarily biased in a incorrect way? I don't know. Like that's up to that's the truth, that nobody knows what the real truth is. Did you ever listen to Serial?
No, you've asked me about this before.
Yeah, that Serial was really entertaining to listen to. I was really into Serial, but I walked away from that one with way less excitement because I listened to that and I was like, you did nothing to prove to me that this guy's innocent right now. Doesn't necessarily mean I think he's guilty or I had enough proof to convict if I was on that jury, but I don't necessarily think that you walked away changing my mind.
I guess I've been watching more fiction stuff. I honestly, like, I never been able with the documentary type either. Like, it's just not my thing. Like, but
you liked, and granted, it was fiction though. You liked the Founder.
Yeah, okay, but yeah, it's not. I mean, it's a high production movie, right?
Right.
I mean, yeah, I can get into those type of things. I mean, I don't. It's not that I don't enjoy these things based on fact. It's just, I don't know. Normally, when I'm gonna sit down for something, I want to be entertained more than anything else. I think the closest thing to like a documentary I watch on Netflix is Mind of a Chef.
I never even heard of that one.
Like each episode, there's like a different chef, and they like just learn about what made them a chef and like what their dishes are and like
food,
what they go into and stuff. What?
Food. I said food. My dish is food.
There's some really crazy ones on there. Like there's this one woman in the current season that she's a monk, and so like it's just all monk food.
What is monk food?
Well, there's certain things they don't eat, and because it messes with their chi or whatever. Like they don't use salt; it's all soy. She makes her own soy sauce and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't know. Like there was this one thing that like she takes like an hour making this lotus tea, where it's just like this giant lotus petal on a thing of water, and she said there with chopsticks like slowly folding out each lotus petal.
That seems intense. I just can't imagine taking longer to, make a glass of tea than my whole lunch break.
Right.
Yeah, I really liked the documentary Super Size Me. Granted, that wasn't about chefs, but...
Yeah. I always liked that guy. Like, did you ever watch his television show?
I watched, I think, like one episode of it, because that was back before I had, like, DVR. Could, like, really stream or watch things. I wonder if they have it on, like, Netflix or something, because I would be interested in seeing him going to jail for 30 days or whatnot. And
yeah, it was. I mean, it was parts of it were silly, like it was, but it was good. I try to remember what happened to him. Like Morgan Spurlock's his name. He, I think he started a YouTube series or something. He started doing something,
and it just didn't work out.
I don't think so. I can't remember now. So I was trying to remember. Yeah, I don't remember. Something happened. That's all I got.
Yeah, I mean, I think I know people didn't like his show as much as they liked the movie, and I don't know if it was because the couple like scenes from the show that I saw, I was like, this is getting a little out of hand with the way he's doing this. Like even with Super Size Me, some of the stuff was like, he's like, the average American only takes 5,000 steps a day, so he gets like breakfast, and he's like, well, I'm already on my 5,000 steps, cabs for the rest of the day, and I'm like, okay, could have done this like a little differently than that. You didn't have to just like stop at 8 o'clock in the morning from your normal routine to now take a cab everywhere. You could have still eaten all the things at McDonald's and walked like a normal New Yorker walks.
Yeah. I mean, all those shows are like that, right? It's kind of like all Michael Moore stuff is very similar, I think.
I will tell you, I've only seen, I've watched most of Roger and Me because it's all about Flint. Granted, most of his shows are about Flint, even if they're like the Bowling for Columbine. I was really like intrigued by Bowling for Columbine. I thought it was really well done. I don't necessarily like agree with everything that he says, but I liked that show or that movie. I was really confused though that 75% of that show was about Flint.
Yeah, why wasn't it about Flint? I can't remember now. It's been so long since I saw that movie.
Well, that was about when they closed down. Or there was a school
gun store or something?
Yeah, I don't remember exactly what it was, why it was there. I mean, he's from Flint, but the fact that he made Bowling for Columbine mainly about Flint, I was like, okay, that's a little weird.
Yeah.
I never watched Psycho, and or Sicko? Wait, which one is it?
Yeah, I never watched that one. That's the medical one.
Yeah, and I kind of wish I did because,
but
I'm so I'm so afraid it's so biased and I don't even understand enough about insurances still, even in the medical industry, because they're so fucked up that it's sad, it's pathetic how messed up insurances are that I don't even understand them as a medical professional. And yeah.
Well, imagine how the average American feels.
Yeah, pretty screwed up. I just don't like the fact that I can go to a place and get something done and not have any idea what it's going to cost me, and I might get a bill that says, "Oh yeah, we don't cover that. It's all you."
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah,
really?
that's kind of weird.
I went to my dentist and I got a bill that made me pay like what they thought I was supposed to pay at the front, like what insurance wouldn't cover. And then insurance sent me another bill, and they're like, "Oh yeah, we don't cover this crown on this tooth." I don't remember what it was exactly. And I was like, "But you covered the other one on the other tooth, like the same thing." And they're like, "Oh yeah, those only can go on the molars. We don't cover them if they go on the incisors."
Huh. That's weird.
It's like, excuse me? Like my dentist even thought they were doing it appropriately so that they would all get charged, and that's why they charged me the price that was supposed to be over my insurance cost.
Right.
And you're telling me to pay more because you cover it on one tooth but not the other, and therefore I have to pay the extra.
That's wild. Wow.
Yeah. But I'm sure it's about that time.
Yeah, it is. I was waiting.